Hello Aries, welcome to the channel. This is Asnointia here. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And for those of you who are new, welcome. So this is a general love reading, and I'll be looking into the feelings and emotions of the person that you're connecting with on a romantic level, what it is that they're feeling and thinking towards you currently. This person could be somebody from your past, could be somebody that you're with currently in a relationship, could be a situationship, could also be simply a very energetic connection. And your person of interest is somebody who's the first person that comes to your mind. Some of you may not even be thinking of someone, but their energy might come through. That has happened. Wow, lots of boundaries here because of beliefs, differences, opinions are different. For those of you who are new, my method of reading is just slightly different. I do channel through my higher intuitive self. I actually don't channel through spirit guides. I never have. Very specific reason why. Also, at the end of this reading, I do channel archangels Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, as well as Uriel now. And that is to provide you with some advice on the situation based on the cards that come out today. Okay. It's different for some of you. You thought you actually were headed somewhere with this individual, but it's almost as if you have to restart and get to know them all over again. Here we have boundaries followed by beliefs, surrender, laughter, awakening, energy, embracing the shadow, creativity, and then we have growth under the bottom of the deck, the overall arching theme. I'm going to express to you what it is that your person of interest is feeling towards you currently, not to me. My dear Aries, I have put up boundaries. I've put up boundaries because I feel as if I don't really know you as much as I should. Our opinions, the differences that exist, they're way too different. They're so different, and we're not on the same page. I was born and brought up in a very different way, and so were you. My ideas, my thoughts are so different than yours. And no, I don't see the things that you see. I don't have the ambitions and the goals that you have. I have my own. I view this relationship differently, and you view it differently. For this reason, I think that there's just too much going on between us that has created this distance. We've grown apart. And for me, sometimes dealing with that is just to put up a boundary. Not to deal with it at all. It's easier for me to put up boundaries and not deal with things. Out of sight, out of mind. But these boundaries can't last forever. Recently, I've realized that this awakening moment that I've gone through, this epiphany, it has led me to put up these boundaries, this distance. There's a part of me that has surrendered to you. The part of me that feels that I belong to you and you belong to me. It is very sweet, this feeling that I have. but I don't want to show you that I've surrendered. It makes me feel very awkward. I'm uncomfortable when it comes to moving forward in this connection the way that you want to. And I do consider you a great friend, a confidant, someone who I can rely on, talk to, trust, have fun with, play with. You know what makes my heart happy. You know what makes me tick. You know what makes me laugh. And I appreciate that. And I want that from you. But then, that's all I want. Is there anything that I want beyond that? I feel as if I don't know you still. And so I don't know if I want to know more. I don't know if I want to move forward. I've come to the realization, this awakening moment. I see things differently now. I see things through your perspective, through your lens. I didn't see things like this before. And now when I am in your shoes, I have come to realize that there's so many differences between us that it's as if we never really learned about each other. Who we are, where we came from, what we're made of, emotionally, physically, spiritually. My history, your history. There's a part of me that does feel very spiritual, and a part of me that believes slightly differently when it comes to spirituality. You have this ability of making my chakra centers come to life. Everything around me radiates. The frequency is very harmonious. But then sometimes that frequency gets ruined because of awkwardness and because of the beliefs. Right now, the situation between you and I feel very awkward. So awkward that I have had to put up boundaries. And this feeling of awkwardness exists. And there's a feeling that the environment is very uncomfortable now. It wasn't like this before, but now it is. You have seen a part of me that was very impulsive, compulsive, and aggressive. And that's the dark side of me. I've had to do things which make you feel sometimes a little awkward, out of character. Things that you never really would have done, but you did it just for the sake of making me happy. And I know that made you feel awkward and uncomfortable. This is the dark side of me that I think is normal, but for you it's not. I want you to embrace this shadow side of mine. I want you to surrender to who I am and the way I am. I am who I am, and I can't change my ways. This defines me. A part of me wants to create something with you in this connection. A web of love I would like to weave and have you as the center of my universe, my world. I want to capture you and keep you in the center, because you are everything to me. But this web of love, will it stand the test of time? Will it be strong, or will it break? There's a part of me that feels that you and I never really grew. We never got to know each other. Things happened suddenly. They were very rushed. Things happened very fast. A part of me wants to slow down now because I want to know and I want to learn. How do I make things better? How can I fix things? I want to grow and get to know you more. What you were like when you were a child. What does it feel like when you're troubled? What troubles you? What are your fears? What gives you anxiety? What are your plans far into the future, long after you retire? All of these things, I want to know about you as a person. Because before, my intentions were different. My desire was different. And I always asked different types of questions. Now things have changed. I realize that I have to have this reset, a reboot in this connection. Restart everything all over again. But this time I want to do it the right way. I want to grow and get to know you more, the real you. As a person, as a human being, and not just as an object. Or as a friend that just comes and goes. All right, Aries. Interesting. You have here 3 cards, a bit on the dark side, but it does talk about how your beliefs, this person's beliefs, are very different. The beliefs card is a huge card to have in this spread I've seen. For me, I interpret these cards very differently. Many of you know that. For me, the beliefs card here does talk about how there is so much difference between the both of you. This literally could be racial background difference. This could be religious difference background. Could be somebody here is very rich, the other is not so rich. Difference in their lifestyle, difference in their mindset. Somebody here may think that this connection was very committed connection. It's headed somewhere. The other person, on the other hand, is thinking differently. They just think you're a friend. So there's something here that occurred where the both of you were not on the same path at the same time. For some of you, there's a video that I have on Asnointia Audio, my other channel, which is my YouTube channel. It's called Asnointia Audio. The link is below. And there was a video that I uploaded a while ago. It's regarding hookup culture. Friends with benefits. Casual connections. That's what it's called. Some of you may want to see that because it actually may resonate with this situation. Here, somebody here was going forward and they kept going, but somebody here just stayed back. And the one who's going forward is thinking in their mind that the both of you are together still. And your mindsets are the same, and your goals and your ambitions are the same. They think you're working as a team, but things changed. It didn't work out that way. One of you is feeling left behind, and the other has moved forward. Let me know if any of that resonates. There's definitely a blockage here. This is the first card. First card's the strongest. We have here boundaries. So there are boundaries between the both of you. You're not really connecting. You're not really talking. There are differences that exist between the both of you to the point where somebody here could have ghosted an individual. Somebody could have stopped communicating as much with the other person. They're also being very defensive in a way. They don't want to be blamed for anything. I've never really interpreted this card this way, but I'm looking at it right now and sensing it from the weapons here that Mother Durga has. Or in Hindi, we call her Durga Mata. So she has all of these defensive weapons, this capability, quite angry, but also very defensive. So it could also be that somebody here was trying to express their opinion to another person, and there was a whole lot of resistance coming from one of the individuals within this connection, either you or the other person. So how's that going to work out? If there's so much resistance, a couple is supposed to work like a team, no? Work together, come together, and then build a future together. That's what teamwork is. That's what a couple is supposed to do. Love shouldn't be that difficult where people are arguing all the time. It's not supposed to be like that. That is two people trying to make it work when you know it's not working. And one of you is fearing not having this person in your life. You may feel this empty void, but it's important to know if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You cannot force someone to change their beliefs, because if they do, they end up becoming somebody they are not. Some people bend over backwards to accommodate the other person, but what happens? They lose the personality, and then their friends, their family says, oh, your person of interest has changed you. You're no longer the same. What the hell's happened to you, man? Things like that. People, these words come out. My clients have told me this, and experiences that they have had. So it does happen. There's a lot of differences here, and unfortunately, there's somebody here that's not seeing what the story is all about, and they're very slow. They're not really progressing forward as fast, and I don't see here that they're feeling very fearful either. The problem here is just a sense of awkwardness. They have a certain set of standards, they have a certain set of expectations, and it's not 100% working out their way, the way they thought. Which in their opinion, they think it's okay. Let's just move on from this. Let's just keep a boundary up, and it's easier to deal with it that way by ignoring the situation, right? Like I said, out of sight, out of mind. Okay, interesting. Holy smokes. Traditionally, these are absolutely gorgeous cards, but this deck I read in the reverse, so they are going to be very sour, very bitter kind of cards. They're no longer sweet. Here we have the Nine of Cups and the Two of Cups. Absolutely beautiful cards to have in a reading when they're upright. Now, this particular spread, this is the Lover's Path Tarot. I have a look at what your person of interest in the past started feeling when things went downhill in this connection. So why did things not work out? What happened? In addition to that, this will give you an idea as to why there was a lack of closure. If this person ghosted you completely, you'll understand that. And also for those of you where the communication is just very less. It's very scarce now. Here we have Nine of Cups. Remember, I read these in the reverse. This talks about feeling a lack of ecstasy, not really wanting their wishes to be granted when it comes to this person, and a lack of sensuality, the feelings of sensuality. Here it talks about complacency, taking a relationship for granted, and overindulging, the inability to receive pleasure, and a sense of dissatisfaction. Now, this talks more about the emotional side of things. So this person started taking this relationship that you have for granted. They overindulged in certain things that they shouldn't have. Too much of anything is bad for you. And because they were overindulging, it's like they became numb. Here's the inability to receive pleasure. Now this here is emotional pleasure, but with that, overindulging physically, it does create a sense of dissatisfaction, because then now they're just bored. And we have here a sense of dissatisfaction in this connection. So there could have been a lot of sensual feelings in this connection. And it got to the point where it was just very sensual and very sexual, very physical. And this is why you had the growth card, because things just rushed into the physical, but the emotional growth never really occurred. Here we have the Two of Cups. This will explain it further. These two go hand in hand. They discovered that there's a lack of harmony, a lack of partnership, and a lack of love within this connection. Infatuation. Overindulging in sensuality for the sake of the emotional high. Overindulging in sensuality for the sake of the emotional high and a sense of infatuation. So yeah, this was a very lustful connection. There was a lot of desire, to the point where, my goodness, somebody out there did it so much that it became boring. It wasn't exciting anymore. Somebody was not big enough for the other. That's what happened here. Somebody got bored. Why? Overindulgence. Here, somebody wanted somebody sexually. In terms of infatuation, it was a little too much for the sake of getting that emotional high. Now the problem is there's a disconnect between the emotions and the physical here. That's what happened. There was a disconnect. And that is why, Aries, in the first set of cards you had the growth card, because there was that disconnect. That is why now your person of interest wants to learn more about you. The problem is, physically you have gone too far, and it makes things very awkward. Yikes. This is a tough situation. Let's see what happens going forward. We also have a few more cards to look at. Be that rare diamond. Don't give yourself up too soon, too fast, too suddenly. Because in the end, this is what happens. We're all dealing with humans here. Human nature and behavior is very similar, no matter what country you're from. Here I have the Beginner's Tarot. So I'm going to look at any type of actions, any intentions, any plans your person of interest has towards you currently. Very interesting. Page of Cups, then we have the Eight of Swords, followed by the Hanged Man. You have an extra card that's popping up here, peekaboo card. Page of Swords, so you do have two pages. Interesting. You're dealing with somebody who is very immature. Here we're not dealing with somebody who is a king. You're not dealing with somebody who is a knight. You're dealing with somebody who is a page. This is an individual who doesn't have a whole lot of experience. Maybe very shy, timid in a way. Impulsive. Maybe even aggressive and compulsive in a way. But right now I don't see that. We don't have the Page of Wands here, or the Knight of Wands, for example. We have here the Page of Cups. First card's the strongest. I do see some action being taken within this connection. Your person of interest is going to come back to you in a very shy and sheepish way, but it is very sweet because it's a very soft and gentle kind of offer that they're going to make. This could be an offer of love. It could be literally asking for forgiveness. But they're not going to be as bold as you would like them to be. Just remember that. Their message, or the way that they communicate, it may be very soft, very gentle, very shy. It might not even seem to be serious. But just remember that when they're connecting to, there's a reason for it. They're connecting in that way on purpose. Here we have the Eight of Swords as well. One of the reasons why your person of interest behaves the way that they do, Aries, is because of the circumstances and the situation that they are in. This has something to do with disappointments in the home, or their environment, or an organization that they work for where there are restrictions. There's something going on here where they feel they are blindfolded. They can't see, they can't hear. Their hands are tied, arms, legs, feet are tied. They're surrounded by swords, caged up, and somebody far in the distance is watching them like a hawk. They don't have freedom. Like you. Hopefully you have freedom. But they don't. They feel very tied down. They feel very restricted. For a tiny portion of you, this could also mean, with the beliefs card earlier, that it's against getting into a relationship that's a third party. There may be 3 people involved. There may be 4 people involved here where somebody's having an affair with someone else, and it's against their beliefs, which is the first deck. And here we have they're restricted because they are in an environment where they're not supposed to be. Here we also have the Three of Cups, third party. For a small portion of you, you may be resonating with that. It is a third party situation as well, and it's causing problems here because you may want to be with this person, but whatever circumstances they are in, they are totally stuck in it, and it's difficult for them to release themselves from that. Here, yes, they're going to reach out to you. It's not going to be so big and bold, but here we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man here talks about how this individual is going to reach out to you. They're still kind of stuck, but they're going to wait and see what happens. So they're waiting and seeing and just trying to see what your reaction is going to be to whatever message they have. What is their intention here? Justice. They want to make things right, which is excellent. Thank goodness for that. They want to make things right. They feel that things that have happened here, there's a lack of justice. There is a lack of equal give and take. And so they want to make things better. They want to fix things. Here we also have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups here, it does talk about a reconciliation. And with the reconciliation, there's a desire to maybe go out with you in a group with a bunch of people where the both of you are also. Just to make things not so awkward. Remember, you had Embracing the Shadow card before, which is a very awkward kind of card. The environment is very uncomfortable. This could be also the reason why they may want to. This could be a work environment where you want to go out with somebody, or somehow you're associated to this person through someone else. Now, going back to this card here, the Page of Swords, this individual is what you would call like a social media stalker. If you don't have social media, it is possible that you don't. I know a lot of people that don't. They could be literally just finding out what you're up to, who you're with, asking family or friends, or literally just stalking you. It's kind of weird. But they want to know what you're up to. Why are they doing this? I'm getting the word wimp because they're a wimp. The real reason is because they've lost their self-confidence. They don't have confidence anymore. They don't have a sense of self-esteem. They don't feel secure anymore. And it's like they're looking at you from the back benches. They're just observing you and admiring you. Like some kind of like reconnaissance, or somebody who's just spying on you from far away, because they don't know what they're dealing with. What are they up against? How are they going to fix this? Things like that. So here we have a situation where there is this understanding, there is this desire to be with you, but they don't have that type of personality or that boldness to do that. Now, for some of you, in the beginning, maybe they were acting like a king, somebody that was very much in charge, somebody that was a leader, a confident, a go-getter. And then suddenly they became a knight, and over the past few months or years, now things have changed and they've become a page, meaning their personality has changed into someone who is very shy and very sheepish, very quiet, very timid. So this is something that I see with this person. You got 2 cards, complete like, it's a confirmation that this person is acting like a page, and they're only acting like it because this is who they are at this moment. They are immature, and if they are not immature, you think, then they are simply inexperienced, and therefore the behavior comes off as immature. So do I see them reaching out to you? I do. And I see the intention here. Maybe you guys are going to go out at some point, but the rest of it, there's a whole lot of thinking, a lot of worrying, a lot of spying. Let's have a look at what the angels have to say about this one. Just going to do a quick prayer. All right, these messages are brought to you by Archangels Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, as well as Uriel. Wow. A lot of faith is needed. Some of you have been very busy to the point where you have not really been in tune with your higher intuitive self. It's a very simple reading right now. Oh, yikes. You have no under... Oh, okay. You have no under the bottom of the deck. Let me just show you here. I'm going to put it this way. You have no, right underneath it, you have reconsider. So... Okay, guys, I'm just going to put this right down here. There you go. So there's an issue here where some of you have been bending over backwards, even changing your personalities to suit this person. Personalities meaning your beliefs too. Your beliefs, what you believe in, what you've always been like. You're starting to change that, which is okay to some degree. But then you just end up losing your identity, and what's the use, right? That's not the real you. Eventually, a few weeks or months later, you're just going to burst. And you will not like being who you have become, because that's not the real you. Here we have meditation brings answers. Angel Fakil, my angel guide, you can read a little bit about her on my homepage. She has said that if you don't have time, 21 minutes is good enough for meditation here to the divine. And we also have 2 to 3 minutes minimum for prayer if you need to pray. But it is important here, they are saying to meditate, because meditation and prayer will bring you answers. You will intuitively get this. It's right next to the card here. Look for a sign. You will be receiving signs and answers to the questions that you have asked, okay? Here, they are also saying some of you have lost a bit of faith in the divine, in the universe, in the plan. Understand there's no such thing as coincidence. It truly is happening for a reason, because our stories and we have timelines, we have different realities, and our stories are already written before we are brought to planet Earth in flesh and blood form. In the spiritual world, all of the stories are written, and in this lifetime now, depending on what choice you make, I've said this in other readings in this upload, I see a tree, and that tree is what you hold on to, and you're the chipmunk. You hop from one branch to the other. You're on branch A right now, for example. But you decide to change your mind and you want to hop onto branch W. That branch itself is a different reality. We're just actors and actresses taking that part. Those stories are already divinely written by angels, celestial beings, by God, approved by God. It's like a whole application process. How do I know this? My angel guides told me. So all of these stories are already pre-written for you, which means you don't have to be afraid if you want to literally jump off from one branch, from one line, from one reality, make a different decision, and then you have a different result from the other reality that you're in now. these stories are already written. It's just a matter of you picking and choosing what you want to do in your life. Either way, you are destined here for a spiritually based romantic connection. This means at the end of the day, even if you decide not to be with this person, you're going to find somebody who is either your twin flame, your soulmate, or your karmic partner. Even if it is not the individual that you're with right now, you're still going to find somebody in the future. And the person that you're with right now is also one of these three, maybe even more, but the top three most intense I've seen is twin flame, soulmates, and karmic partners. Here, it does say there is a spiritually based romantic connection that you're in right now, Aries, and in the near future, it is important for you to look for a sign after you have that sense of meditation. The signs could be signs and synchronicities, repetitive numbers, patterns. It could be somebody literally that just comes up to you and says something and it just makes sense to only you. I've had that happen to me. Random strangers just come up and they say a sentence and they just go away. It's like poof, they're gone. What the hell? It's so weird. But that has happened to me, and it's only a few months or years later I realized, oh, that's what they meant. And these are messages that come through the angels sometimes, or even helpful, positive spirit guides. Here we have perfect timing. So all of this is going to happen in divine timing. Remember, just like you hopping from one branch to the other, you don't have to worry about the different timelines or the different realities that you're in. Your existence is still going to be the same. It's just your surroundings are going to be slightly different. And here, whatever happens is going to happen in due time. This is called divine timing. We also have here be assertive. So because you had the beliefs card in the beginning, there was a little bit of an issue here where you may have been changing your ways or bending over backwards to accommodate this person, to be somebody that this person really wanted you to be. The problem is being assertive here now is important because the angels are telling you to be assertive. Don't be afraid to put your foot down and let this person know how you feel. Are you afraid of rejection? Are you afraid they're going to leave you? Well, if you're afraid of that, you're walking on eggshells for the rest of your life. Either now, a few months or years from now, this person might just walk out on you. Why? Because you're living like that. You have to be more assertive. You have to let them know what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with, put up some healthy boundaries. Being assertive also means that some of you have lost your confidence. You may deny it, but deep down inside, you're afraid that you were nothing without this person. Being assertive is important. So let this person know how you feel. And whatever happens, happens. Like I said, your destiny is still many, many destinies, many realities that you can hop onto. They're already written for you. You just have to be that actor or actress that's going to hop onto that, and that's it. That's your life at that moment. And from there, if you want to change, you can do that too. As long as you're alive. Here we have no with an exclamation mark, reconsider. So, that's a huge card to have. This is under the bottom of the deck. It's the overall arching theme. So there's a decision that you're going to make. And the angels here are saying to reconsider what it is that you were going to say and do. Because before you weren't going to reconsider it. You were just going to go ahead and do it. I'm sorry for some of you. You're probably going to be like, I'm so confused now, Asnointia. You said this. I understand. That's not me. That's the angels talking. They've sent this information to you. Because some of you out there, this is not a personal love reading. You guys know that. This is a general. So all of these cards are not going to resonate for everybody out there. And some of the information might just feel to you as vice versa, because we do mirror the other person, and their energy is sometimes around us. So here it is important to know that some of the things that have happened, and some of the things that you had in your mind, the way you thought, those thoughts may change in the coming future. Here the angels are simply telling you that when the time is right, it is important for you to reconsider what it is that you are going to say and do, what actions you're going to take, all those type of things. Just think about it twice. Base it on your intuition. Base it on the trust and the faith that you have, the knowledge that you've gained intuitively, the feelings and emotions that you've gained intuitively. And by your own personal experiences here, what's happened. Be assertive. Let this person know how you feel. And there you have it, folks. That's your reading. I hope I was able to provide you with some clarity and some guidance in your situations. Do let me know in the comments below if any of this has resonated. I also wanted to mention right now that on my other channel, Asnointia Audio, my YouTube channel, I do have a brand new video. Yay, finally was uploaded a while ago. It is all about negative energies, jinns, demons, evil spirits, what and who they are, how to deal with them, and a bit more information on that. So if some of you are interested in knowing what these things are, how do they affect us negatively, how do they bring us down, and how you can literally conquer and go beyond these negative energies so that you only have positive energy in your life, that will help everybody. I mean, it's always a good thing because all human beings, the majority of them that I've ever read for, we're all plagued with something, and it's most likely negative energies. They come from all over the place. There's different types, and I do go over a few things within that audio recording that I have on Asnointia Audio. So please do have a look at that channel as well. And please do like, share, and subscribe to that video. Let me know your thoughts. Please do leave some comments so I can get some feedback on how you guys feel about it. All right. You all take care. Stay safe. I'll see you guys again. Bye now.